Hello, my YouTube family. This is the OG Crypto New Jack coming at you, and today I would like to wish everyone a happy Memorial Day. I also would like to take a moment to honor those brave men and women who paid the ultimate sacrifice to protect our freedoms that we enjoy today. And on that note, we have Brad Garlinghouse who put out a statement, and it reads, "It's Memorial Day weekend in the U.S. I woke up today reflecting about feeling appreciation for all that this country has accomplished and what it hopefully will. Thankful to those who have served and lost their lives so we can have this life." Now, before I continue with today's video, I would like to say I'm not a financial advisor. Anything you see or hear in this video is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be considered as financial advice. Remember to do your own research and consult with a qualified professional before making investment decisions. Okay, let's begin. Taking a look at the crypto market cap today is 1.2 trillion, up 1.2%. Bitcoin coming in at number one at 27,662. Ethereum coming in at number two at 1,892, and our beloved XRP is number six at 48 cents. Okay, taking a look at crypto bubbles, we have Pulse X as a top gainer coming up plus 14%, and I believe Render is the biggest loser at a negative 5.7%. The Fear and Greed Index is coming in neutral at 52. And moving on from there, shout out to Link2 for sharing this with us today. We have this from XRP Las Vegas. Molly Elmore is on stage with the CRO of Uphold, Nancy Beaton, and she asks her decision on keeping XRP listed. And let me play it so you can hear.
So considering the scrutiny you're under, Uphold is one of the few places that do not delist XRP. Can you speak a little bit about why that decision was made?
Awesome. So yeah, I said before, we're highly regulated, so we do take compliance incredibly serious at Uphold. So we are, FCA licensed in the UK. We have 44 plus MTL MSBs here in the US. We have licensing in Lithuania. We take that very seriously. And so when we looked at what was happening, and obviously there is a lawsuit out there, but when we look at that and work with our legal counsel, there is no legal precedent yet. And so for us, it felt prudent to maintain listing the token. And when there's legal precedent, we'll have to follow it. But right now, there is not legal precedent, and we feel comfortable listing the token.
Nice, nice. I wish all the American exchanges took that to heart, like Uphold did, and kept XRP listed, but unfortunately they did not. So big shout out to Uphold for being a strong XRP partner. Moving on, we have Jeremy Hogan, who shared with us his thoughts on secondary market sales. He writes, there has been a discussion about how if secondary market sales of XRP will or won't be addressed in the Ripple case. It's important because we are only confident XRP will be listed on exchanges if the issue of whether XRP is inherently security is addressed. And that obviously remains to be seen until we hear from the court officially. So he continues, although the SEC's lawsuit contains language suggesting that XRP itself is a security, like a share of stock, the SEC's request of the court in the lawsuit does not request anything that would confer this status on the asset, because it's ridiculous. He goes on to say, the problem is that it is likely the judge will not even address the issue since it's not explicitly raised by the plaintiff. And although you could argue that it's thereafter addressed by omission, would that be enough for the exchanges? We don't know, but there's hope. First, Ripple could obtain agreement from the SEC to include, or the judge could approve language provided by Ripple in its proposal final judgment that the judgment does not cover secondary sales. Kick Interactive got the SEC to allow the language below about continuing sales. You can look into that. Second, the judge could address the concerns raised by numerous amici in regards to secondary sales, including those championed by XRP holders, led by attorney DEATON. Apparently, the judge in library case has agreed to address secondary sales at some level. We'll see. And finally, the judge could be forced, if Ripple loses, to address secondary sales at the penalty stage when a disgorgement order would have to be drafted. Why? Because the judge must review the distribution of disgorged profits for fairness. And so the court must delineate who received the funds taken from Ripple. It's at this point that Ripple can argue that only actual purchasers from it directly and not secondary purchasers should receive their investment back. This is required by the SEC versus Wang case. The court would likely agree because otherwise the disgorgement would become so diluted due to the large number of secondary sales that any individual purchaser will receive pennies or less on the dollar. And this is, in effect, a ruling as to secondary sales. Thank you, Jeremy Hogan, for your professional thoughts on that. Moving on, shout out to Michael Branch. He puts out that Dean and David Schwartz, the Ripple CTO, agree Hinman emails are coming out, even if the SEC settled with Ripple. And that is good news for everyone in the space. I personally want to know what's in those emails. The SEC had to be forced to turn these emails over after 6 court rulings. Obviously, they didn't want something in there to come out. And hopefully soon we're going to see their dirty laundry / corruption that was going on in the SEC. Moving on, shout out to Wheezy. He shared this video and where he stated that Brad Garlinghouse has always been the grown-up in the room. Let me get to play.
Speaking of, Ripple, overvalued or undervalued?
Oh, I don't want to say anything mean about them.
You don't have to.
Massively overvalued.
Okay.
The Ethereum developer community called consensus in Brooklyn. Overrated or underrated?
Well, some of you were, Joe Lubin was out here yesterday and said Ripple's way overrated. So I guess, look, back to the Holy Wars, I want them to be successful. I don't compete with them. Like they're working on, I mean, they have experiments, and I mean experiments going on in lots of verticals.
Are they overrated?
No, I'm excited for them. They're underrated.
There you go. Brad Garlinghouse, always a professional, but grown up in the room. Shout out to Easy for that. Moving on, we got Tranglo. Big news here. They put out, it's official. We are excited to welcome Al Ansari to the Tranglo Connect family, a single connection to a world of seamless cross-border payments. This is a huge partnership. I'm not going to read the whole article, but just a few blurbs on top. May 29, 2023, Singapore Tranglo announced today the partnership with Al Ansari, a subsidiary of Al Ansari Financial and the largest outward personal remittance and foreign exchange company in the UAE. With over 230 branches serving 3 million customers and processing over 130 transactions daily. The parent company, Al Ansari Financial, reached a historic milestone earlier this year when it was listed on the Dubai financial market, raising USD 210.5 million in an initial public offering, favorably received by investors. This strategic collaboration, part of Tranglo's Middle East expansion program, will boost Tranglo's presence in the UAE, which is the second largest market for outboard remittances globally. Folks, this is huge, not just for Tranglo, but for Ripple, because Tranglo is a Ripple partner. And if I'm not mistaken, Ripple has a 40% stake on Tranglo. I mean, there's been so much bullish news around Ripple, a company and their partners, that I tend to believe, while we're moving on to the next statement, that this case is over. I've been following this case for 2.5 years. I've never seen so much bullish information. If it's not a top tier 18 member joining Ripple, the board, they have got partnership, acquiring companies, increasing their stake in the company as far as buying stock in the company. It's been non-stop the last several weeks. And then when the digital asset investor, shout out to him, he puts out this tweet, Dimes to Donut, this thing is over. And you have Brad Garlinghouse, who in Las Vegas said, we are going to win and we're going to have a proper party. And then he likes this comment, Dimes to Donut, the thing is over. And Brad Garlinghouse likes this. I got to tell you, you can come to your own conclusion, but I'm going to lean on the side that this thing is over. Of course, I'm speculating. We're all speculating. No one's going to know for sure until either we get a motion from the judge that comes out, or the SEC or Ripple puts out an official statement. So until then, we'll never all know for sure. But speculating, I'm going to speculate and say, you know what, that might be true. You guys can come to your conclusion, and you know what, only time will tell, folks. So we're going to leave it there, fam. This is going to do it for today's video. If you found this video to be helpful, and would you please smash the like and subscribe? I would really appreciate it. Thank you in advance. In the words of Snoop Dogg, keep your mind on your money and your money on your mind. Peace out, fam.